Hey everyone, it is I, Rarity Fangirl31VA, and welcome to the third episode of Two Fangirls Review. Of course, I am here, and we also have Miss Luna here joining us once again. How are you today, Luna?
I'm very well. Very cold. It is winter right now, but how are you?
I'm doing very good. It's very hot here, because we are on opposite sides of the world. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about Scales 23 of 24 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc-V Manga, which some of you are probably like, why didn't you do a review last month? Well, number one, we were both on vacation. That's number one. Number two, we probably couldn't talk about 23 for a whole video. Not really. I'm sorry.
No.
Because it was fine. Like, nothing wrong with it. It was just, like, not as much. And we're probably not going to do another one of these, probably for at least, 2 or 3 chapters from now, just till we get something. Maybe when we get Issac's backstory, we'll talk about that. We'll probably get, like, an Adam reveal, something that will give us, you know, something to talk about. But anyway, we're going to start off with Scale 23, which, as you know, is the conclusion to the Yuya versus Ren duel, which is finally over. Yay! Not that a duel was bad, I'm just happy the duel's over. I mean, it's going to be nice to give another duel. The upcoming duel, Reiji versus Issac, is the only duel in the manga so far that Yuya is not in. He's not in that duel period. Okay, no, the Yugo versus Ren duel. That was the first one. Okay, that a U-boy isn't in. That isn't on the U-boy side.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of unique. But of course, the duel ended, you know, Yuya won, as we all predicted he would. So, what did you think about the duel ended, Luna, was in terms of, like, the duel aspect itself? Was it, like, I'm pretty sure we all have one thing in that duel chapter that we really liked. The one card that we could probably talk about for a while.
Well,
so what do you think how the duel ended?
Yuya finally gets his own Kuribo, called Curry Border, and that is actually the cutest Kuribo I have ever seen. It's like a little Santa Kuribo.
It has a good effect, too. It's a good effect.
Yeah.
Except for, like, he didn't gain the life points because Ren had some other card, but, like, it was still a really good effect. Like, I want that card. Please print that, please.
Yeah,
I need a plushie. I need a plushie of that thing. But Kuribo was called also this pendulum conductor thing. Who cares about that? And there wasn't. People wanted a ranked. Was it like what was it? Level 12 synchro for Ren, which I don't think we're gonna get because it seems like Ren's dueling part of his career in the manga is over. I'm really sad about that because I liked his deck. I like whales and dolphins.
I feel like if he is going to duel at all, it's going to be way later in this series. I think he's out of commission for a while. Yeah, I think he's like what Sora did, like it's kind of the same situation happened with Sora. We're kind of in the 24 territory, but yeah. So I think that's gonna be... Sorry, I mean, this is a review for both, so I guess we are allowed to blend both, I guess, even though we're not necessarily topic yet. So Ren's probably just out for a while. At least, I hope he's not dead. I don't think he's dead. I think he's just like taking a nap. No, thank goodness, because I love Ren to death, which... I'm gonna get into my one problem of how the duel ended, was that Yuya kind of cheated. Okay, so basically, how he won was because him and Yugo beforehand, they kind of like strategized. We saw a flashback, which was super cute. It was a super cute flashback. Like, Yugo made some really cute faces. He was like, I don't really understand this, but I'm gonna go along with it anyway. He was super cute. I mean, that's Yugo for you. So, where Yuya made this, what is it, a solid vision card, like he's been using before, but he specifically made this one to beat Ren because they knew Ren's machine was like too fast, so like they couldn't physically get an action card, and at least it was only like a one-time use thing. But the problem with it was like the one action card that actually saved Yuya from like actually allowed him to win. It was just a little too convenient. I mean, it was a clever way, I guess, because Ren was also using action cards throughout the entire turn too, so like there was a nice back and forth. It didn't make like Ren look like he was really weak or Yuya was very overpowered. I'm just mad because Yuya kind of just, like, made this one thing. He kind of cheated to win. But it was cute. I mean, I guess because I adore Ren, because I feel super sad for the guy. I mean, at the beginning of the chapter, which is probably, like, the only real plot thing we got, you just feel for the guy. You see his expressions. Like, he doesn't understand the mind of Genesis Mega Dragon, which I think I think it is a god entity. It's a real being. I think that's exactly what it is, because the way it was being mentioned. And he's stuck in this place. Like, he didn't get to save his father out of it. He got, like, you know, and he got to, you know, like, become, like, a writing champion, but he didn't get to save his father. He basically is the reason his father never came back. I'm surprised there wasn't a way to bring him back, but I guess there wasn't. And while, I guess this kind of leads to 24, like, he was happy he got to fulfill his dream of dueling Yugo twice.
it's still, and he doesn't regret anything, but it's still sad. Like, he's stuck in this. Yoshida is doing so good on making the villains very sympathetic. These villains are way better than the anime ones. To be, like, Leo was a terrible villain. Roger was okay. Zark has a lot of potential, and, like, he's an interesting character if you're talking about the fan versions, because the fan versions of Zark are amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
The anime version is just, like, ugh.
I feel like the anime version of Zark and Rei, the final arc there, I don't think it was developed enough. While I was kind of, happy with the ending, apart from a few certain details, but, it just needed more. I feel like that it was sort of rushed towards the end, so I feel like they could have done more with Zark, but didn't have time, so it was left just undeveloped.
And I actually learned something kind of interesting. This kind of, I guess, let's talk about just the villains in general. I learned that in the Zexal manga, that Koji Yagubo was supposed to be the main villain throughout the entire story, but apparently the artist who does the Arc-V art got tired of drawing him, so that's why Ira, the female villain for Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, was created. That's why she was so last minute. That was the reason why, because the artist was complaining. So I guess that's maybe why they haven't been drawing Eve as much, but then again, it's a girl. I guess they maybe like enjoying females more, because I think the artist is male, so maybe that's why they're kind of getting the characters more equal screen time, so it's not like there's one character. Maybe that's why there's multiple villain characters that have significance, so that the artist doesn't get tired of drawing them again, which I think that's a cooler idea anyway, but I thought that was an interesting fun fact that I learned today. But anyway, I guess we're going to transition to talking about Scale 24. This might be a shorter review because there's just 2 chapters instead of 3, but 24, we're gonna try to focus on the scenes by scene, because there was quite a lot of plot that we learned. So, of course, the first scene that was ultra sad was Ren. He was on the ground and he was smiling. It was so cute. His smile was precious. Like, his smile, he's a pretty guy. Like, he's gorgeous. Yeah. And I'm surprised no one freaking called out, this isn't the scene after this, that Ren didn't have a shirt on for, like, people were calling the Sora in the Hostile Bed with no shirt fan service, but no one called out the Ren fan service, but whatever. I don't consider having a shirt in the Hostile Bed when you're, like, covered fan service, but,
that's true, people, it's a little different
there. To each their own. To each their own. But yeah, so that was super, super sad, and we learned a lot of interesting plot. We finally learned what the Atom Factor was, and it's actually the spirit of Atom, the individual, split up into 2 when he came into contact with God, because he was the first individual to come in contact with him, which I kind of predicted like a while ago. I kind of thought it was him, and then something happened to Atom, so now I know what happened to Atom, and then Eve was given it probably because she was so close, and she managed to get the card probably right after. And so that was kind of interesting, and Red's body language is giving me that vibe that at some point all the villains, like all the villain characters, are going to basically try to reason with Eve, because her plan is very, it's very understandable. It's kind of like what Leo Akaba did in, Yu-Gi-Oh! The anime.
Yeah.
He was like trying to get his daughter back. In this case, she's trying to get back her, like, lover, which, yes, Yu-Gi-Oh! Confirmed a romance. Yay for them. I mean, we don't know if they got married. Because, like, I don't think they've ever confirmed a romance between 2 unmarried characters before. I know they're adults, and, like, most of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters are younger, but still the fact they use the term romantically involved or lovers in the Japanese version is just amazing. And considering this is Yoshida, who's, like, doesn't like having female characters that much, I think that's amazing. And, like, a step forward, I love that. I really hope we get a chapter or something down the line where they get to see them fall in love. I just want to know their backstory. That'd be really awesome.
I'd love to see a flashback of that, honestly, like how Adam and Eve met and then, like, fell in love.
That'd be so cute. And then how they tragically separated. I feel like we're going to get that for how we've, like, depicted how Eve is so upset all the time. Because the one panel of her, which I'll get to later, was blocked by Reiji. But, like, she was so sad looking and so pretty. So I guess she's kind of mourning. And so it's kind of like they're disagreeing, but of course they're going along with it because of, the prospect of, well, number 1, loyalty, number 2, like, other reasons. Like, Sora's reasoning is for Mew, which kind of leads to the scene after that. But yeah, there's also some hints that Yuya's gonna be, tempted by God. Like, that's the, like, but temptation, which, was a big thing in the Bible, the devil. So maybe, like, God in this version is playing both the devil and the god at the same time. Both good and evil. Not black and white together.
It's true, and that's probably how, I don't know if they'll actually go with it, but if God ever tempts Yuya, that might be how they write in Berserk Yuya. at some point.
Yeah,
it could be that.
That's what I was... Exactly. Because I thought of the reason. A lot of people were like, why are the U-boys dying? But now we know why, because Adam is a spirit. Yuya's mind can't handle that many people, and Adam's soul, because if Adam is a descendant of Yuya, which I think he is, because he's a magician, he's a scientist, which Yusho, as we know, was both those things. And it's kind of understandable why he gave the factors to Reiji, because he's a scientist, and Yuya was a magician, so it's kind of like splitting his personality. Which I hope he's more than just like a Yuya and Reiji son. I hope he's more. I think he's going to be more than that.
Oh, yeah.
It's all the descendant characters are way more than what their original halves are, original ancestors are. So
absolutely.
I hope that's the case. So it's going to be really cool to see that eventually. And Ren going back was so sad. It was so pretty. It was well drawn. It was just so emotional. Oh gosh. And then we lead to, I find this kind of irony, that Sora was the one looking over Ren in the hospital room because, you know, so Ren was doing the same thing to Sora when he was sleeping, him and Isaac. So it's kind of like a reverse of irony. And he basically outright says, well, you're not going to be dueling anymore for at least, yeah, because your correction's going to start running dust. And then he's like swearing to defeat Yuya. So I think a Sora, Yuya, Yuri rematch is going to come right after the Isaac duel. I think that'd be a good place for it. And maybe we'll learn that Sora is a descendant of Yuri? I mean, I don't know, but I think we'll get Yuri's backstory in that duel. Hope we get Sora and Yuri's backstory together. That would be awesome. But that was a nice little scene. And then there was Yuzu and Yuya, which Yuya, I really like that he's grown to tolerate Yuzu and kind of see him as a friend now. Because at the beginning, she was more of an annoyance. But I think after the Sora duel, she's kind of become maybe a lot more of a friend, like a support base. Because, like, she helped him win, because, you know, she pressed the button and stuff. So she's, like, important in that aspect, I guess. So there's that. I thought that was kind of nice. And then we learn Yuya is on to the U-boys to some extent.
Knows.
He is on to them. He knows. Maybe not everything.
No, I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows that they're the ones, like, erasing his memories, but I'm pretty sure it's just confirmed there that Yuya does know that they are lying about being his personalities.
Exactly, or at least Yugo, but I think he'll assume the other two. Which I'm pretty sure he's like, he can put the dots together, but that confrontation scene, whenever that happens, which I kind of think it's gonna be after this duel. I just want to see how it's gonna happen. Is it gonna be like a yelling? Is like Yuzu gonna be there like in the middle, maybe like a mediator? Is he gonna go into his mindscape to confront this? Is there gonna be a U-boy duel in his mind, which I always thought would be a really cool thing?
Ooh, that would
I don't know how it's gonna go down. I don't know how it's gonna go down, but it's still gonna be very, very interesting. Oh, the angst though. And then we lead to the big part of the chapter, which is half of it, which is Reiji and Isaac's confrontation. I really liked how Isaac was characterized. He got a lot of interesting character traits in this. Like, you know, he was talking about, oh, I'm in the lab all day, so I don't really understand people's feelings. Like, I guess that's kind of relatable to Reiji, too. And to some extent. I don't think, like... And then, like, Reiji was like, you know... I don't know why. Reiji being angry cracks me up. I don't know why. Reiji is like seeing him so angry just makes me laugh. I don't know why. I just find it so entertaining. I don't know why.
Especially because
really
Isaac...
funny.
Yeah, Isaac knows the instant way to piss Reiji off by saying that his father was like, manipulated by God.
Yeah, and his biggest accomplishment was all a lie. Oh, burn!
And now he made Reiji
like
mad,
how cynical
so...
Reiji is. Yeah, like how cynical it is, and then he's kind of like, well, what's gonna happen to me if I lose to you, just in case I ever did? And he's like, you're gonna get incorporated. I think that's a weird word to use, is the word incorporate. I think the Japanese used absorb. I think that's a better word for it, but that's kind of scary. Like, that's a threat of these villains. Like, if they lose, they're like, lose themselves. That's really scary.
Yeah,
like,
and I mean, Isaac doesn't even know for sure, because Reiji says, do you mean destroy? And he says, we don't know that either, so... It is a ride no matter which way this goes, really.
Yeah, I mean... Oh, there's something I forgot to mention earlier. I guess we can go back for a second to earlier. Apparently, Genesis Mega Dragon can control people! Apparently that's a thing! That's interesting! So it's like, I don't think Eve's subordinates are under her control at all. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's all of their own free will. As if it wasn't, then Ren wouldn't have probably spoiled the plot to Yuya.
That's true.
Or he wouldn't have done it, or he wouldn't have destroyed his mask after it was cracked. And he wouldn't be as, I guess, more lifelike. But the fact that can happen, that's really, really something. Because I always thought that, like, Eve's motivation was more of just, I don't think she wants to take over the world. I don't think that's what it is, but could God be manipulating Eve this whole time? Could he? Because it's, but, I mean, right now its power is very limited according to Red and Issac, because, you know, Adam's factor is gone, because Eve's factor is Eve's soul now. But people are like, why isn't there an Eve's factor in Yuzu? Why can't she be plot important? It's because Eve exists. Adam's gone. That's the reason. If, like, Eve ever died, then most likely probably Yuzu and Mew would get it. You know? It's because, like, they're the only female characters in this manga, the only other two
so
females. True. It's so sad. I hope there's another one. I kind of want, if there's a Yuto descendant character to be female, I think that's awesome. It's kind of weird, but, you know, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, you don't have to be the same gender as your descendant. Like, you could be, that'd be cool to see, like, a rebel girl. I'd like that. I'd like to see that. Kind of hip and cool. Like, a darker female. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. But, yeah, I thought that's interesting, too. I wonder how that's gonna go into later with the controlling aspect. I feel like that's gonna come into play with Sora, because I feel like Sora's gonna betray them at some point, because the anime characters kind of like to keep their alignment throughout the manga as is in the anime, and as we know, Sora betrayed Academia after, like, a lot of thought about it. So, maybe he tries to have doubts about it and tries to, like, ditch them, and then Eve just pulls his control, and then Yuya has to duel Sora again. Because I could see Sora getting 3 duels instead of 2. I could see him getting 3. Because, you know, he's that significant of a character. I could see him, because he's an anime character. I could see him getting 3. But yeah. And Issac, that smirk and that laugh was so creepy. I was like, dude. Like, bro, what you hiding? Like, it's like what you get from Sora. I'm just like, oh, okay. You're hiding stuff. I guess you're getting serious now. Okay. Also, can we just agree? Isaac's dual disc is amazing. It's very like a GX dual disc. Yeah, it's a GX dual disc. And it has, like, slots for the pendulum cards and, like, all the card slots. That's amazing. Like, and he's from the future. So it's like he's like an old dual disc and he's from the future. I just love that. That was cool.
I want that dual disc.
I know, I want it too. It has, like, the Eve symbol on it. I think it's super funky fresh. But I think that's amazing. And then, like, how the duel starts is kind of just, like, they set all these face-down cards, like, and they end their turns while Issac also sets his pendulum scales. We haven't really seen, like, a face-guard card fight since, like, what is it, Arcana and, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. So this is gonna be interesting. I think Isaac's deck is gonna be more based on pendulum effects rather than pendulum summoning the monsters.
I agree.
I think that'd be kind of cool. And his deck is more mirror imaging, is like the name of, like, the mirror imaging. So I think what he's gonna do is maybe copy a lot of Reiji's effects, or maybe their attack points. Because maybe he's kind of like one of those people who likes to use an opponent's power to their advantage. I think that is kind of the character. Yeah, exactly. The character. But yeah, I think that's what the whole chapter. But Luna, like, what do you think overall? Are you really excited where this is going? What was, say, like, one big thing you're really hoping is going to happen in the near future? And I'm pretty sure I know your answer, but say it anyway.
I thought this was really well done. I'm looking forward to this turnout, because I do want to know Isaac's backstory. But for anyone who does know me, I am very, very much interested in Yuya's possible confrontation with Yugo, because that is a lot of, like, built-up feelings right there, because, you know, he knows that his personalities have lied about being his personalities, and that's kind of, you know, gotta hurt a little bit. So I don't think he'll confront him for a while, because Yugo does have to recharge,
wake
probably.
Up, or whatever he's doing. I hope he's not dead. I don't think he's dead, but it would be interesting if, like, right after that fight, Yugo fades right after that, then Yuto and Yuri just, like, get away from me. It's like this big rift, and he's like, hey guys, I didn't want to start a war, I just wanted to talk.
I wanted answers, not this.
No, I could totally see that though. And then Yuri's comes back, like, during the sword, and it was like, I guess I have to help you, because I don't want to die, so hello. I wonder what would happen to the other 3 if, like, Yuya got, like, assimilated. Like, would they go? I assume they would go in it too. I assume, because they're part of Yuya.
That's true,
but what if, like, giving that up would give them their bodies back?
I mean, like, Yuya already does have a lot of souls in him right now.
So I know, that would be kind of interesting to get their bodies back.
Yeah.
I feel like at some point, Yuya is going to get tempted by Eve, at least, or by someone. Maybe God itself, maybe Eve, because Eve keeps saying, oh, God is myself, about his memories. She's gonna, like, say, which And this is kind of funny because me and Luna have this righty thing that's kind of like this, kind of not. Yeah. I guess we kind of predicted this, maybe. It happened like last time with the Yugo Ren connection that a friend and I were doing. My friend Craig's. Shout out to you again, girl. You got another shout out on one of these. But anyway, so like she's gonna tempt him and say, "Oh, you want your memories?" Not doing the voice right now, but you want your memories back? Oh, just join me and give up your Atom Factor. I'll give you your memories back. Or maybe she'll have like this way. Maybe if you give up the Atom Factor willingly, then like you live. Maybe? I don't know.
Who knows?
I feel like she's gonna tempt him with something like that.
Definitely.
Or
Yuya will
something like
that.
But it's gonna be so interesting to see her reaction when she sees Yuya. Will she just see Adam and then get really upset? Is that part of the reason she's not fighting at all is because he looks like Adam? Is that well, her disease is one thing. But like, which by the way, they're wrinkles now. I call them scars still. They're still scars. Like yeah, that's like wrinkles.
I admit if they are wrinkles, they're really weird looking wrinkles.
Yeah, I'm still calling it a scar. Yeah. But like that could be part of the reason why she's not fighting at the moment till she has to, is because it's emotional for her. And to see a character this tragic, like I don't think we've ever seen a Yu-Gi-Oh character like mourning over another Yu-Gi-Oh character's supposed death before. Maybe, but like to this extent. Like,
yeah, to this extent.
I mean, you could say like Yubel was mourning over Judai, but then she like wanted to kill Judai, remember, and have her all to herself, or itself. I still call Yubel her. I think everyone agrees Yubel's a she. But yeah, that's really interesting. But I'm really excited to see where the manga goes from here. I hope the Reiji and Isaac duel is really good. I think it's going to be really good. I mean, it looks really interesting. The artwork in this chapter specifically, 24's artwork, was amazing. I don't know why. There was something about it that was really on point.
No, I agree,
in this chapter specifically. Last chapter was pretty good, but in this chapter, 24, I thought the artwork was superb. And I liked all the wit that Reiji got. He was like, isn't Adam someone's name? Like, he's like so cynical. I love it. I thought he told Isaac
he's
to
just
shut
not
up.
dealing
that
with
was
this.
Great. I just love he was like, shut up. I loved it. It was great. And
amazing.
I am maybe deciding to dump this one. I have to finish 19, but it's on the card. It's on the table for like a category. And I actually wouldn't need that many voice actors for this. I need 5 of my like 12, so that would be kind of easy. But doesn't mean it's gonna be easier. It's all emotional stuff. Like Ren has to die, and then my VA has to talk to himself, because if you guys don't know, my Reiji VA is the same person who voices Isaac, so that would just be him basically talking to himself for half the chapter. Not that he wouldn't want to, I said he's up for it, but like, since the duel was announced, but that's still pretty interesting. Yeah. And kind of funny that like, I casted him like that because of just how interesting. It wasn't even that Isaac looked like Reiji, I just thought he could voice the character well, which he does. He's incredible. You guys haven't heard him yet, but he is fantastic. The Majin V, lovely guy, he's a wonderful guy. But anyway, I think that's gonna wrap it up, unless you have anything else to add, Luna, or anything else?
No, I'm just looking forward to how it goes.
Oh, me too. It's gonna be a while, probably, before we do one of these again, but of course, if you follow me and Luna on Twitter, we'll be definitely giving our opinions.
We'll be screaming.
You will be screaming, pretty much, or rather me, because I got to read the chapter with one of my friends live, and seeing her react to some of this stuff was amazing. We cried over Ren together. Aww. It was beautiful. Well, okay, semi-cry. We didn't actually cry, but, you know, it was emotional, because we love Ren to death. He's such a wonderful character. He's so nice. Like, why couldn't we have these cool-looking anime characters, like, anime villains in, like, the anime? That would be
I would
cool.
have actually,
you know,
I would
plot.
love to have seen Ren and Eve and possibly Adam and Isaac animated. It would look so nice.
I would have loved to see the Arc-V Manga animated in general, but I guess the next best thing we have is my dubs, because, you know, it's the audio part, the acting part. I guess it's the next best thing, which is probably why everyone's so sad. Like, Rarity dubbed the entire thing, and I'm like, no!
I don't have that time!
No, I mean, I also have a large team of people. We do this
true.
for, you know, passion, entertainment, not for money or anything. And plus, like, I don't want to dub all the chapters. Like, I mean, as you probably can see, I like dubbing the plot ones more. They're probably they're a lot easier. But the duels are fun. I just want to find a duel that I can feel confident about, and that I'm gonna feel as good. Like the riding duels I didn't want to do because it was too much work and blah, 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 blah. But, you know, because car games and motorcycles is hard than doing regular dueling. I got the regular dueling editing down by now. Doing that on a motorcycle that's not autopilot, that like they go up and up the ramps.
That is a lot of motorcycle effects.
No, but at least if I do this Reiji and Isaac duel, they're not gonna move a lot.
They are standing on the ground.
Because there's no action duels. They're just standing there. So, like, I wouldn't have to, like, do, like, that action card time, and I guess that's another thing about this duel that's gonna be nice, is because there's no action cards, they don't have to waste time, like, in those pages getting them.
That's true.
So they're just like, the duel can be a little bit longer, or maybe the duel can be shorter. I'm gonna call it, it's gonna be about 2 to 3 chapters, like the Ren duel was, including this one. Like, one chapter is gonna be just about, most of it's gonna be, like, Isaac explaining something, either his backstory, or something, and then the duel is gonna end, and Reiji's gonna win. Like, I don't think Reiji is going to lose. I think the only character that Reiji's going to lose to is Eve, and then Yuya fights her later, or Yuya and Reiji team up, but I do want Eve to get a win on someone. I hope she does. Or just some character, because none of the villain characters have won any duels yet. I hope they do. Just to keep up their intimidating level, or to see how OP Eve is, or like GOD is used in a duel. That would be awesome.
Oh,
and it's so overpowered. That'd be so OP. And then they make good version of Zark to win! Yay! Something like that. I feel like all of you boys are gonna have a big part in how this ends. But anyway, that is gonna do it for this episode. A little bit shorter than the other ones, but I guess because we had a little bit, you know, not as much. We have 2 chapters to talk about instead of 3. But then again, most of this video was to talk about 24 because we got so much plot. I mean, how could we not talk about it? And I'd like to thank Luna for coming on once again. You are lovely as always. It's always fun talking to you.
Thank you for having me. I love being here.
I'm glad you do. And that's gonna do it for this episode, so please, you know, subscribe for more. You can watch our talks on Varaines, which some people were wondering real quick if we were gonna do more Varaines stuff. With how Varaines is being heavily copyrighted right now, I'm gonna say no, just for being safe.
Yeah.
And plus, there's nothing too big we could actually talk about, like, in terms of, like, a video. Maybe when, like, things are better of copyright down the road, like when people aren't getting attacked as much, or maybe when we get the new opening and ending, we'll talk about that as much. I just don't know, but talking about the manga is a lot safer just for us, because no one really targets it, so we're safe. Because I believe this is right. I think Neon Ad System doesn't have the rights to the manga's advertising. Shonen Jump does. So, and plus mangas usually never get touched anyway. They just never do. And plus, we're not monetizing either, so that helps us too. But anyway, I'm not talking about copyright. But yeah, we will see you guys for another manga review in the future. You can also follow Luna on Twitter. She is a wonderful person. I'm not sure if she'll do anything on our YouTube channel, but I have it in the link anyway. So you can always just check her out. She is a wonderful person. And I thank you guys for watching, and see you later. Bye-bye!
Bye!